Woo! Nearly 9 months ago, we installed this Pulsar LT on the 2020 Silverado, and it's been fantastic. However, as of late, I've had a feeling that something's been up. And unfortunately, in this case, this is one of those times you wish you weren't right. So what is going on, guys? Aloha and welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to this little piece I call paradise, the Lonestar Hawaiian garage. Today is not necessarily a good day. It's actually a little bit of a failure of a day because we didn't just fail, we failed miserably. Fail! Fail!
I deserve that.
The 2020 Silverado and the Pulsar LT are not getting along. You're having a little bit of, we'll call it communication issues.
You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
In order to drive this thing on the road like we typically need to, we're gonna have to do some reversals today on some of these modifications. However, today isn't a total bust because we just surpassed 91,000 subscribers on the channel. If you've been around the last few videos, you will know that my wife has made the crazy deal with me that if this channel hits 100K, we get to build a shop right on the other side of that gate. Go ahead and check out the last video if you haven't, but we've jumped the gun a little bit on where this shop is going to live and how in the world we're gonna fight with our HOA to get it. Pretty sure we have a way to make it happen, but I do wanna say thank you for the support. If you guys are new to the channel, this is my dream garage as it sits today. On the left, we have our 2017 Camaro ZL1. It's been converted somewhat as far as a 1LE goes. Wheels, tires, front canard, splitter, carbon fiber, rear wing. We have our 2007 Silverado, which is gonna get a lot of attention here in the next few months. And then our workhorse as of late, the 2020 Silverado. But if you guys are by chance new or haven't subscribed to the channel just yet, please scroll down and hit that subscribe button below. Help us get to this 100K benchmark because I really want to prove my wife wrong. It just feels good to be right. Just once, please just once. Here is a 2020 Silverado LT Trail Boss that's equipped with the 5.3 liter V8 engine and the 10-speed transmission. Yes, it is not stock. We've modified it a little bit over the last 2 years. Those things are so cool. So this truck is absolutely fantastic. However, like most new vehicles, it's equipped with things that I personally am not a fan of that Toyota Prius owners have really pushed auto manufacturers to equip these new vehicles with, like dynamic fuel management, like auto start stop. And I came across a part or a modification that was gonna alleviate my frustration of those things from this truck, and that was the Pulsar LT. It's essentially a tuner that has a lot of capabilities outside of just those two. I can adjust my speedometer to accommodate bigger tires. I can adjust my throttle sensitivity.
What did you do to it? First from the back.
The modification itself is pretty well thought out and extremely easy, kind of a plug and play application. You're essentially going to use your stock parts, plug it into the new connector, and then mount the Pulsar LT kind of up out of the way, and it works itself. You can control everything from your gauge cluster. It's a really well thought out part, but the one thing that was not articulated in the instructions or any warnings was the fact that you're gonna fail. Everything is just not communicating right. So when you buy a new vehicle in Texas, you get 2 years before you really need to go in for your first state inspection, in which they check all the things around the truck and plug it into the OBD2 port to make sure all the systems are active and communicating as they should from factory. When the Pulsar LT is plugged in and operating, you're gonna fail your inspection. The fuel system shows not ready. The catalyst shows not ready. The O2 sensors show not ready. You will fail your Texas vehicle inspection or any other inspection they plug into the OBD2 port while you are running this Pulsar LT. Now I thought I missed something. When I initially installed, I was like, maybe there was a point that said, hey, if you're going in for a state inspection, you need to disable the Pulsar LT, unplug it, plug your stock pieces back in, drive it around for a couple days, and then take it in. But unfortunately, there's nothing in this manual that describes that. So that's my one little gripe I have currently. So what we're gonna have to do here, we need to uninstall a modification on the truck and essentially reset the entire system. And what we're gonna find out is if it actually resets itself. Actually, you know what, guys? Slight change of heart. Now, before we go through the fun of reversing the modification, going back to essentially what is stock, mean, come on, we gotta enjoy this thing one last time. And sorry, Dallas. Yeah, we got the doggo with us. She wanted to go for a ride, and I was like,
let's go for a little ride.
I've really enjoyed this modification. This has been fantastic. These trucks come with this stinking auto start stop that everybody hates and wants to disable. The dynamic fuel management, or DFM system, as you guys probably know, actually is this truck's own Achilles heel. It doesn't completely solve the problem, but it decreases the chances of your engine self-imploding. And on top of that, I needed to retune my speedometer for the larger wheels and tires. Stock, this truck came with about 32.5-inch tall tires. I now have 35-inch tires, so the Pulsar LT has the ability to retune the speedometer to meet the need of my bigger tire. We've had this thing installed now for nearly 10,000 miles. As far as the efficiencies, they do vary by truck. I've heard some of the 6.2 liters actually getting better fuel efficiency with the range technologies. Me, given I lifted it and put 35-inch heavy tires and heavy wheels on it, I went from about 17 miles a gallon down to 14 miles a gallon, like that. The other dog's eyeing you, talking smack. And a slight detour, we got the boys!
No? Hey.
Whole family! We're actually gonna run by the OG's house and take a look at the 99 Silverado. We are almost ready to paint that thing. It's been a heck of a project. So I'm gonna borrow a few of his tools, unplug the Pulsar LT, plug in the stock connector, and then we're immediately going back to having auto start stop, dynamic fuel management, all kinds of tone shifts within my exhaust, which you will hear here in about a minute. You got a little peach?
Yeah.
It's so little. Whew, we are almost ready for paint. And those headers still look so good. Anyway, spent quite a bit of time sanding down the cab because we're gonna hit this one more time with one coat of primer and do a final sand before we paint. I know this is very off topic for today's video, but we're moving along. We're almost ready to paint. This ice cream.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go, she's out. And just like that, there are no traces of the Pulsar LT 10 months later. So I'm gonna stick this inside the cab. And then we have the Velcro on the back side of the cold air induction's air box. But this should mean that I can hook up the battery and start her back up. And then basically what will happen is all the functions I had on the Pulsar LT will be eliminated. So auto start stop will be back on, dynamic fuel management will be back on. All right. All right, we're good. No warning lights. Everything's out of the way. Now, in order for this thing to fully reset and all the sensors to come back online, it's gonna take about 50 to 100 miles to do so. I'll put you right next to my failed inspection. Look at each other. Look what you did. It's really funny. After you run something for about 9 months or 10,000 miles, you forget what it's like to not have it. The way they design this is incredibly intelligent. You can remove this. It's Velcroed into its location, so this is fully removable. And it leaves absolutely no traces of ever being in there. It doesn't modify the PCM. Once it is removed, it goes right back to the stock settings. I'm just really annoyed and slightly embarrassed. I should know better, but I'm gonna lose another few hours of my day next week. So officially, good evening and welcome to my way home from work. So we passed inspection, we did get the truck passed. Hallelujah, now I just gotta go home and re-register it for this next year. But I do wanna take a quick second and give you guys a decent audio of what this thing sounds like with exhaust with the DFM system enabled. We're running an AWE OFG CapEx exhaust, sounds tremendous. But some might say otherwise with the DFM enabled. You'll hear the tone shifts going between 8, 4, 1 cylinder, depending on what the DFM system wants to do. that is going to do it. This video is in no way, shape, or fashion a way to dog on Pulsar LT or Range Technologies and the products they have. I absolutely love my Pulsar, and it's going right back on this truck tonight because I just can't stand that DFM system, especially with the exhaust installed. But if you enjoyed this one today, guys, be sure to scroll down and smash that like button below. Helps me out, helps this channel continue to grow. We are so close to 100K. We're gonna be there way before I expected, so I need to go ahead and probably get myself a shovel because we're breaking ground very shortly. We will catch you guys in a few days for our next video. Until that day comes, as always, y'all take care, or we hope, aloha. Guess where we are?
Hello.